Now, it's been a week since those $1,200 checks have started rolling out, and by now you should have received that $1,200. But there has also been a proposal to have a $2,000 monthly check sent to us, as well as maybe canceled rent and mortgages for a year? What's up? I'm Brandon Young, and on this channel, I teach you how to make, save, and invest money. So if you're new here, consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss a beat. The CARES Act left a lot of people out of that $1,200 check with a lot of restrictions, and there are a lot of requirements to actually get that check. And even if you were a lucky recipient of that check, $1,200 is barely enough to scrape and get by. Never fear, a new proposal is here, and it's not only one proposal, it may be two different proposals giving us a chance to pick either one or the other. So the first proposal that members of Congress have made is a $2,000 monthly check that will be given to people over the age of 16 and higher, and that amount would be given for the next 6 to 12 months depending on how long this pandemic lasts. Now, the proposal is called the Emergency Money for the People Act. That's kind of a mouthful. I don't know if a lot of people are saying they don't have a cool little acronym for it yet. But if this is passed, it would provide additional cash payments to Americans who have been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, this would include individuals that were left out of the CARES Act, such as high school and college students, adults with disabilities who are ineligible to receive the stimulus check because they were claimed as a dependent on another's tax return. Now, another good thing about this is compared to the CARE Act, everybody would receive this a little bit easier. It mentions that everybody does not have a bank or home address. To address this, the Emergency Money for People Act calls for individuals to get this money through direct deposit, check, prepaid debit card, or mobile money platforms such as Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal. Let's face it, these mobile platforms are the future and they make things very seamless and easy to receive money. So the fact of the matter is, if you are receiving it this way, you'll probably have way less to worry about compared to the CARES Act with the check taking so long to be sent out, or direct deposit information isn't being well put, and so many problems have occurred with the CARES Act. But with this new act, hopefully things will be more streamlined and there'll be way less issues. Now, eligibility for this is every American over the age of 16 and older making less than $130K annually would receive at least $2,000 a month. Married couples earning less than $260K would receive at least $4,000 a month. Qualifying families with children will receive an additional $500 per child, up to 3 children. And those who had no earnings, were unemployed, or are currently unemployed will also be eligible for the stimulus even if they did not file a tax return. And those who were not eligible in 2019 or 2018 but would be eligible in 2020 could submit at least 2 consecutive months of paychecks to verify income eligibility. Now, as you can see, this proposal sounds very good, but there is also another proposal that we have. Now, proposal number 2 is to cancel rent and mortgage payments through the coronavirus emergency. Now, this act is called the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act, and if it is approved, it would call for a nationwide cancellation of rents and home mortgage payments through the duration of the coronavirus pandemic for up to 1 year. Now, this bill would include full rent payment forgiveness for your primary residence, full mortgage payment forgiveness for your primary residence, no accumulation of debt for renters or homeowners, no negative impact on their credit rating or rental history. It would establish a relief fund for landlords and mortgage holders to cover losses, and it would create an optional fund to finance the purchase of private rental properties to increase the availability of affordable housing. Now, the bill would be retroactive to March 13, 2020 and would last for 1 year unless extended. Renters and homeowners who have made payments during April 2020 would be reimbursed for their payments. Now, there will be no double dipping allowed, and this bill will only be available to allow taxpayers to receive coverage on their primary residence. It would not cover second homes, vacation homes, or non-primary residences. Now, those who rent and they also have a mortgage on a house, they would have to choose between the house or the rent. They can't choose both. And also, landlords and mortgage companies would be covered through a fund managed through the Department of Housing and Urban Development. So basically, the Department of Housing and Urban Development would create a relief fund for lenders and landlords to cover the loss of rental and mortgage payments that they would have received. To receive these funds, lenders and landlords would be required to follow federal guidelines for fair lending and renting practices for 5 years. Now, both of these proposals sound so good, but you want to go with the proposal that's going to help the most amount of people. Now, the proposal related to rent and mortgage, although it is very good, it's going to help people who have to pay rent and stuff. But let's say you're somebody who lives with parents. Then this bill or this proposal isn't really going to help you because you're still not having any type of income coming in. You don't have a job and you're not going to have any way to pay any, money for your bills. The mortgage proposal is honestly only going to help people that are renting, people that have a primary residence. And let's face it, not everybody is in that boat. Not everybody is renting or owns a home. Some people live with people. Some people are 16 years old who may be in college or still in high school, and not everybody is in that boat. Now, the $2,000 check would be way more applicable for this situation because as long as you're over the age of 16, no matter if you have disabilities, if you're claimed as a dependent on somebody's tax return, you will be receiving a check. And with that money, you could use it to get groceries, pay bills, try to pay your mortgage. And you'll have multiple people in your family that may be living with you. And since all of them are receiving a check, they all could pitch in to help you pay the mortgage. Also, I feel like the $2,000 check is better because a lot of people have lost their jobs. They've lost their means of income. And that is going to allow them to have some type of money that's coming in that will allow them to do things with it. With the mortgage proposal, although you aren't paying mortgage, you're not paying rent, you do have these other bills that you need to pay. So you do need some form of income coming in to pay those bills. But what are your thoughts? Would you go with proposal 1? Proposal 2? Let me know in your comment section below what you think. If you enjoy these videos, please give me a like and go subscribe to the channel for more great content like this one. I'm Brandon Young, and I'll see you in my next video.